Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to Foundational Black America's #1 edutainer, your man about town, Petty Murphy, reporting to you here live from Solon's #1 source of edutainment, Akata News Network. And today we will be checking in with our agent in the field, Akata News Network's own Master Jedi, Nappy One Kenobi. And he'll actually be giving us a little brief, shall we say, breakdown on the importance of genealogy, knowing who you are, and learning how to actually exercise your rights. And with that, we'll get out to the field with some breaking news. Here, what's cracking? So, y'all already know what it is, because it ain't nothing new under the sun. So, I'm going to drop down, I'm going to watch a series of video clips, and then we'll spin the block, and we're going to rap about it. So yeah, be right back.
Who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox, and a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to, but the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling. You take him for a friend.
Telling me you stealing from the airport.
I'm not stealing, I'm buying paint. That's what I told you. What do you
know what I'm saying? Yeah. Black folks always stealing something.
I'm not black folks, I'm African.
That's the same thing, you black?
It's not the same thing, we're different than you guys.
Look at your hand.
No, we're different than you guys from here.
How are you different from me?
Oh yeah, we're different.
How?
We don't do the same thing.
What you mean? So you better?
I'm not saying we better, but we do different stuff.
Like what? Give me an example.
We do different stuff. We African, we do different stuff.
Give me an example. Listen. Like y'all eat rabbits and we eat pigs?
Yeah, hold on. When Obama win, I see the black folks here started dancing. You know what I told them? I said, no, it's not your win. It's African who win. Believe me. And you better.
Oh, so Obama, you celebrated too?
Of course, Obama is African.
So why they can't celebrate?
Did Jesse Jackson win? He never going to be able to win. Jesse Jackson, did he win?
You said.
Did he win?
Hold up. You said we was dancing when Obama won.
No, listen. Y'all don't act right. Let me clear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and you do.
No, yeah, that's what Obama win. This doesn't win. Because
so you say the African Americans in America don't act right?
No.
And you do.
We do. That's Obama over there.
You racist.
I'm not. I like y'all, but you know what? That's the reality I'm telling you.
You're racist. You just like the white people.
No, I'm not white. I'm African.
No, you're like the white people.
No, I'm African. I'm African. You hear me?
So wait, you won't go get a diamond chain and wear around your neck?
Oh, no, I ain't gonna wear. I'm not gonna show my underwear. Do you see me dress up?
Let me see.
I'm not gonna show my underwear to you.
I ain't even finna get into that. Let me see. That was insane to me. But regardless of that, he's not wrong. Now he can miss me with the whole backhanded, trying to say y'all don't know how to act right, and he's trying to be negative in that light. And even with that, if it wasn't for us acting right, you wouldn't be over here. You'd be back in Africa. So you can miss me with the whole y'all don't know how to act right stuff. Y'all don't know how to act right, because if you did, you'd still be in Africa building up your homeland. But that's not really the point I want to get to. The main point I want to get to is the fact that he's correct about Obama. Obama was not a win for Black Americans. Obama was a win for the LGBTQ and immigrants in general. It was a win for Mexicans. It was a win for Africans. It was a win for Caribbeans. It was a win for immigrant Europeans. It was a win for everybody else but us. And that's usually how the Democratic Party works. Not to mention, it would have been the same thing with Kamala Harris. Thank God she didn't win. But if she would have won, it would have been a win for Jamaica. It would have been a win for all of these Mexicans. It would have been a win for all of these other people who are coming into our country and destroying Black American communities. He's not wrong about that. He's 100% correct. And we're not the same. Black Americans are not African. Africans are not Black. It's the same thing. There's a big distinction. We're going to get into that. And I'm going to break that whole thing. We're going to break that whole thing down later in this video.
I honestly think that I'm Black. I'm a Black Somali man. But my partner over here doesn't agree with me.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm not Black.
I know Black. Impossible. I know.
Pardon?
I said I'm not Black.
You're not Black?
No.
That a lot of Black Americans don't have is a sense of knowing where you come from.
I was looking through, I downloaded the 14th Amendment. There's been a lot of Supreme Court cases. Civil Rights Act of 1964 was upheld. This approach in the heart of Atlanta Motel versus United States. Justice Joseph Bradley made a really interesting comment about it. He said, quote, individual invasion of individual rights is not the subject matter of the 14th Amendment. It has a deeper and broader scope. It nullifies and makes void all state legislation and state action of every kind which impairs the privileges and immunities of citizens of the United States or which injures them in life, liberty, or property without due process of law or which denies them equal protection of the laws. He goes on. The radical Republicans who advanced the 13th Amendment, which was free slavery, abolishing slavery, hoped to ensure broad civil and human rights for the newly freed people. But its scope was disputed before it even went into effect. The framers of the 14th Amendment wanted these principles enshrined in the Constitution to protect the new Civil Rights Act from being declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court and also to prevent a future Congress from altering it by a mere majority vote. Who was the focus? The newly freed people. Not everybody trying to get here by hook, crook, or cranny.
And thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis. And some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country on a vacation. This was, in fact, it was the same date, the exact same date, the end of the Civil War. It was meant for the babies of slaves, and it's so clean and so obvious. But this lets us go there and finally win that case because hundreds of thousands of people are pouring into our country under birthright citizenship, and it wasn't meant for that reason. It was meant for the babies of slaves. So
It's just that the FBA stuff scares Africans sometimes because we feel like we're being left behind. Maybe delineation is not that good for us Africans. That's how people see it. Like
right.
You know,
It shouldn't be like that, and that's
it's a threat. It's a threat to us.
It shouldn't be because of the people delineate from us.
But it wasn't like this in the past, like 10, 20 years ago. We're all just black, but now. Yeah. Everybody's delineating, even Africans themselves.
Yeah, they let us know because we would be told by many Africans, Somalians, and Ethiopians. They would run around telling us, "We ain't black, we're Somalian. We ain't black, we're Ethiopian. We ain't black, we're Nigerian." They would tell us that, and we're like, "Okay, is that what we doing?" And then when they start coming up with little names like Abids, Jarirs, Akadas, little stuff like that. We let it slide for a long time. And then after a while, we say, you know what? A lot of these folks are getting into political positions where they're undermining us. So, we're going to have to draw a line in the sand and say, okay, we're going to have to start getting a head count on who's who, who's down. We're not going to sit here and have a big kumbaya party until we vet people. We're just getting some proper straightening. That's it.
But the biggest fear is, as black Americans are delineating, and America as a country is doing the same thing. They're coming after us. Donald Trump got elected. Immigrants are scared. So now black Americans are doing their own thing. At the time, we were hoping that they would be standing up for us, and being part of our coalition. But
yeah, and that's the problem.
We don't know what to do now.
Yeah, because we told people, cats should have really checked themselves with the disrespect.
So how about we have a restart, man? Black Americans and black immigrants, we forget everything in the past. We start a new contract. We put the disputes and all the stuff to the past and just have a fresh start. Respect each other, respect each other's cultures, work together where we can work together. Let's try to work on that. I'm ready for that.
Well, the thing is, man, it's going to have to start back in the homeland. It has to start there because a lot of people bring over the same tribalistic disposition that they had over there. They bring it over here and they look at us as just another tribal group, and that's not going to work.
White people that's done dropped down in my comments that I care to acknowledge. But black folks, let me ask y'all something. I'm going to ask y'all something real. How come every group America has harmed has got a damn check, an apology, and a pathway to generational wealth except us? Jewish Holocaust survivors got billions from the US and Germany. Japanese Americans got $20,000 per person for being thrown in camps for 3 goddamn years. Native Americans, oh, they got land settlements, treaties, federal trust funds, broken and disrespectful, but they were still acknowledged. So why is it when black folks, like me, say pay what you owe, suddenly America develops selective amnesia? Oh, now y'all want to talk about that was such a long time ago, or I never owned slaves, or why should we pay? Did you personally put Jewish families in camps? Did you personally round up Japanese Americans? Did you personally steal native land? You damn sure didn't, but the government did, so the government paid, period. What's so hard about that? 246 years, no wage, no land, no inheritance. Nothing. Discrimination, redlining, lynching, house bans, job bans, bank bans, loans bans, wealth theft. The whole time, white families were stacking property, savings, assets, and passing them to their kids. Black families, we got nothing but trauma and a head start to damn poverty. And then y'all have the very nerve to call it fair. But America will cut a check to every goddamn body else but the people who literally built this country, its economy, its military power, its international wealth.
Check this shit out, people. Motherfuckers talking that shit about Donald Trump. I support that motherfucker. You know why I support that motherfucker? He doing some shit that now other president didn't do. See, y'all don't understand that this is a motherfucking real live, real deal spiritual war. Trump is set in place to say motherfuckers look like this. To say your black ass, your melanated ass, your African American ass, if you want to call yourself that, your whatever nappy hair ass. To say you. Sad to say, motherfuckers look like me, always complaining. Who holding us back? Your ass holding you back. Because when Trump motherfucking goddamn signed that executive order to get them immigrants out of here, he did that for a reason. He understands this is our land. This ground I'm standing on right here, he understands this is all shit. When you look at the Arabs, they're making more money than you. Let me do this right here. Let me show y'all something. This is a $100 bill right here. You make this motherfucker 9 more times, it's $1,000. See what I'm saying? You got 10 of these is 1,000, right? 100 of these is 10,000. See what I'm saying? I see Mexicans, Venezuelans, Asians, white people, all other race of peoples coming over here. They got a lot of these. Listen to what I'm saying. Peep this out. Peep this out right here. It's a good motherfucker for you. These are the immigrants. These are the immigrants right here, the $100 bill. These are the black niggas right here, the dollar bill. They running around with 10 of these is 1,000. You running around with 10 of these with $10. That's it. You think that's what you think you worth. They run around with 100 of these in their pocket, which is a 10,000. You running around with 100 of these, which is $100 in your pocket. Do the math in your motherfucking brain. I see Mexicans going to banks. They don't go in a regular line. They cash their check or to go talk to the bank teller. They go in the business section line. See what I'm saying? Depositing motherfucking Hundreds of these motherfuckers. While you going, a nigga that complain about ICE sending them fucking immigrants back, you going in the bank withdrawing 100 of these, $100, and they going depositing more than one of these motherfuckers. Do you catch the drift? So all y'all motherfuckers talking about Trump doing this, Trump doing that. That nigga doing an amazing job, you dumbass motherfuckers. It gotta be somebody like him to get those people out of here. Because while you sitting back complaining about another motherfucker don't look like you, helping your motherfucking ass, trying to be better on your own motherfucking land when everybody goddamn got access to the resource except your ass. I'm tired of preaching to you motherfuckers, man. As today is turning motherfucking night. Melanated people, wake your motherfucking ass up. We gotta start sticking together, man. These people taking all our shit. Stop playing games with yourself. I'm speaking some real motherfucking shit. This ain't no motherfucking game. What I'm saying, stop playing with your fucking self and smell the motherfucking coffee, drink that shit, and wake your ass up. As of today, stop going to your neighborhood convenience store, shopping with them Middle Eastern motherfuckers. As of today, if you gotta get some repairs done in your house, don't call up a Mexican for cheap labor, because it really ain't cheap. Nothing these days are cheap. It's black carpenters out here. Get them to do it. As of today, if you don't really need nothing, don't go buy shit from none of these big time corporations. Get with your community, man. Congregate with your community. Come together. Brainstorm. Put that money together. Get some land, man, like our ancestors did, man, and get all motherfucking shit back, man. I can't go no more further detail with this shit, man. I'm letting them out this bitch.
A tether is a person that comes to this country.
Don't worry about the tether. Do you think there's a difference between financial black American versus an African? Because I feel like even though I was born in Africa, most of my life was raised in America. I joined the military and I was ready to die for this country. Yeah. So technically speaking, I am African American.
Yeah, you are African American.
So do you think there's a difference between
and
those two?
You deserve every bit of America that you fought for and did everything for. Yeah. But your ancestors ain't do nothing for this country. To be honest with us, let's be real. They got us here. If it wasn't for their hard work, if it wasn't for what
you are the resident African American, right now.
If African Americans win in their struggle in the United States, that is a blueprint for us in Africa and the rest of the world. So with their struggle for reparations, it equals to the conversation about what Sudan needs from England, what Sudan needs from the Arab world, what Sudan needs from every other person that has been able to take a part of South Sudan. Right?
That is a fallacy.
I think that goes.
You're assuming like that all of African Americans are.
Owe no fucking Caribbean. They don't owe no African. They owe us. And Africans aren't grateful anyway. An African ain't gonna come here and fucking rebel. A Caribbean ain't gonna come here and rebel. So we can never be allies with them because they could all get deported. Their parents could all get deported. So even if they get in trouble, the government could make laws and say, okay, none of y'all are fucking citizens anyway. The first, second generation, that could be done because technically the 14th Amendment wasn't for them anyway. So they can never be our allies. They can never be our friend. They could pretend to be. They could pretend to be black girl magic. We pretend to be black brothers when there was never black. We wasn't always even black. We was Negro. We was colored. So what was they then? So was they black when we was colored? Were they black when we was Negro? So was they black first? So was they black when we was 3/4 of fucking man? Did black exist before America? See what I'm saying? Like, it's like whatever we were in the 60s, we was colored. So they was colored too? How come every time we change our identity or we want to identify ourselves, these Africans and Caribbeans get attached to our shit, our nationality, and our ethnicity? Black isn't a race. The Negroid is a race. Black always been an American ethnicity. When we met Jamaicans, there was Jamaican. When we met Africans, there was from whatever nation it was from. How in the fuck that now that we are delineating and Trump is on some bullshit deporting people, how's everybody get to cling on to blackness? It's a fucking lie and a scam that we don't have to go for. And I'm tired of these Africans saying we ain't have no fucking power to do nothing. See, they said we have the power to do nothing, right? But we had the power to get free. We had the power to desegregate. We had the power to get laws changed. I mean, don't get me wrong, we still got a long way to go, but we have power. Now, the thing is, if we had enough power to get black immigrants into this country, we have enough power to get them the fuck out of the country, because that's no inconvenient to the government. They're confusing power against the government opposed to power against them. We are 90% the black population. We outnumber them. We outvote them. We outrank them. We have seniority over them. We could vote them out. We could make the government separate us from them. We could make the government stop giving them our benefits. That could happen. That's why they want to say they black, because being under the umbrella of blackness gets them privileges. When we take the umbrella of blackness, it gives them nothing, because America owes them nothing, and they know that. And once black Americans, see, we influence culture, we influence so many things politically. Once we get mad enough and focus enough on these black immigrants, we take all their power. We do have the power. We just ain't tap into it yet. We just ain't that mad yet, and not enough of us recognize what the fuck they are yet. But the minute we find out, the minute we all focus on these people and realize that they bloodsuckers and we have no use for them, the government has no use for them either. The jig is up. We know that they're using them as pawns in white supremacy. We could put policies up to stop that. We have the power to stop them from coming here, and we have the power to stop them from getting birthright citizenship. We do have the power. We just got to activate. They slap us. They fucking playing games with us. They disrespecting us, saying we have no fucking power. Nigga, we have the power to get you here. We have the power to get you the fuck out of here. Y'all don't have no power. Immigrants have no power in this country. We have way more power than an immigrant. Way more influence. Way more backing. Way more support. If our artists, our politicians, our streets come together against these people, they will be the fuck out of here. We have the power. We have my power. We have a lot of power. We are the fucking sleeping giants. We are the fire-breathing dragons. We just merciful people, but we have power. They don't have power, and they challenging our power by saying this. America don't need them. America has no use or demand for Africans or Caribbean. What's the demand? What are they giving? What's the exchange? What power do they have? That's the question. They're questioning our power. Our power is proven. It's been proven during Jim Crow. It's been proven during slavery. It's proven during the 70s, 60s. It's proven every time we burn shit down, every time we get together, every time we focus, power is flex. We have power. The government, we are the biggest threat. How can you not have no power and still be the biggest threat of the FBI? That proves we are the most powerful. We are so powerful that white supremacy has to systematically oppress. That's because we threaten white supremacy. But us focusing on them doesn't threaten white supremacy. It doesn't bother white supremacy. Most white people will agree with us that these people shouldn't be here. The Americans who put America first know that we don't want no immigrants here, and know that they're not us too. We have power. They don't have power. How could they stop us? With laws, we can just change laws on them. We can just take their fucking rights from them. How could they stop us? What rights and what claims do they have to this country? None. That's what they're afraid of. That's how they want to attach to black. That's why everybody black now, because they recognize once they can't use black, then what are you? What's the purpose of you being here? Once white people going, you're not black American. You're not American. Once white people say you're not American, it's over for them. Once we start saying it, it's over for them. But once white people get on board with it, then it's double over for them. They have no business being here. They have no power over. They have no power in their own country. This podcast is about flexing our power on them. We have power we don't exercise, because we could have the power to off y'all. We have the same blood the KKK got. We have the same mentality and the same heart the KKK got. We could do that to these Africans. We could link up, put on masks, and get to target these Africans, these Caribbeans, and Latinos. We could do that. We outnumber all these people. Together, we outnumber them. But that's not who we are. And I don't promote fucking violence, but I'm tired of these people saying we have no power. We have a lot of power, but y'all don't want to wake up the fucking fire-breathing dragon, because if everybody thought like me, y'all would be scared to fucking death. The world
All right, racist.
They're warriors. From the very beginning, Black Americans have been a vital part of the American story, helping to make this the greatest nation in the history of the world.
Let's continue to correct the propaganda and the attempt at erasing the truth. Black Americans are not the descendants of the Indians in the history books. They are the Indians. The proof has been buried, but it's not gone. When Christopher Columbus washed up on these shores, lost and delirious, who did he write that he found? He called them Indios. He mapped a land he labeled India Superior, a territory that included Florida. He wasn't hallucinating an empty land. He was documenting people who were already there. These images can be found in Gran Canaria, Spain, at the Columbus Museum, Casa de Colón. And who were those people? They weren't the pale-skinned Siberians who crossed a land bridge, that's for sure. The historical records, the artwork from the era, the very descriptions, they detail people with dark skin, with hair textures that Europeans had never seen. They describe the original people as dark-skinned and woolly-haired, the true owners of the soil. The people that Columbus met were Black Americans, the West Indians of the Caribbean, the Indians of the North and South American coasts. All of these territories were Black civilizations. Native Americans are the erasure. They are the last part of the destiny swap, a foreign invasive group from Siberia, and was grafted onto the identity of the people who were already here, while the original people were systematically reclassified, enslaved, and renamed to sever their claim to the land. The Indian Removal Act was a removal of Black indigenous nations. The face on the old nickel, the buffalo nickel, that proud profile was a Black indigenous man, an American Indian. Every time someone speaks about Native American history while pointing to a group that arrived later, they are perpetuating the final stage of the conquest, the theft of the victim's identity. They replace the people and the story. Black Americans are not a people without a land. They are the land. They are India superior. They are the Indians that Columbus couldn't miss, and that every power since has tried to make you unsee. The map doesn't lie. The history books do.
How's it going, family? I just want to come up here and tell you that we have a win when it comes to delineation and separating ourselves from the immigrant class. The term is deaggregation, and in California, SB 515 has been signed as of October 13th, 2025. So yes, our data is now going to be made specific to our lineage, and no longer are we falling under flat blackness in the state of California. Now, granted, yes, it is just the state of California, and it has not passed off. It's not a federal bill or anything like that, but it is a stepping stone. It's a precedent that was set, that California has recognized that we are a distinct lineage, we are a distinct people, and informs regulations, policies, procedures, and all that. That when targeting our particular lineage, and when just talking about different disparities and how to help the community. We have a place now, we have a designation, which is under the American Freeman category, so which has legal foundation already. So it is there. We're making moves. The family's making moves. I just want to say that I'm excited. To see where we're going and to see that we're definitely moving forward. So big ups to all those out there in California for voting and helping to get that bill passed in California. Next, New York, they're working on it too. There's a petition out there. Her name is Brooke. I have the link, so I'm gonna make sure I get it, and I'll most likely do another video speaking about that particular petition. And there's another petition that is specifically geared towards the Census 2030 that Brother Simon is working on, and I've already signed that one. I just need to sign one for Brooke. But yes, if we're going to do something, we also have to not just talk about it, but be about it. And these are some moves that we can make to help the delineation movement and to help our family and our lineage, to make sure that we continue to stay a family, stay connected, and to continue to protect our community. And like Brother Simon just said, it's not just about now. It's about the generations coming. That's all I got to say for now. Love you, family, and peace and blessings.
Up on you, nigga. Put some respect on my name. You already know what it is. Put some respect on my name. Put some respect on my name. Put some respect on my name. Put some respect on my name.
I'm really trying to understand why y'all mad at the Frenzano dude. Like, I'm really trying to understand, like, he's somebody that we look up to that really means something in real life. Really look at I'm gonna show. When I show you this video, you're gonna be mad at yourself that you mad about what he said or not knowing.
The whites are superior.
Now watch the glee.
Who told me? Not a white man. It is my mom, my dad, my uncles, my community members, my teachers in Africa. Ask any Nigerian, ask any Beninois, ask any Togolese, unless they are lying. Anybody above the age of 50 knows in our folklore, in our music, we play it. Go and listen to Chalamanda. When I was a young boy, I want to go to America. They tell us that is the land of superior people. It's in my language. I can say it. Anybody who can understand Benin will tell you what I've just said, and they've heard it before. So when I arrived here, my people have already told me that white people are superior. But the things they have seen, airplanes flying, they said it's magic. Ships floating on the water, they said it's magic.
It's magic.
Okay? So all these inventions, television came, they no, we say Yovurudahe.
It's the white man.
Is turned on and speaking, and they say the person is from far. Yovurudahe. When we see a toy that can walk, we say the white man is so good, it's like God. He has done everything but put blood in a toy. That is what we say in Africa. Everybody knows what I'm saying. Do you know what they say in Ashanti land?
What they say in Ashanti?
The Ashantis have a saying, and I can speak Ashanti. If you are going to church and you meet a white guy, turn around and go home, you sing God.
Damn. Now, granted, I understand that the common consensus or the common thought process of the immigrant class is to not know the things that we did, right? Not know that if it wasn't for us, they wouldn't be here. They would be in their war-torn countries. To not know that part of the reason why United States of America is a first world country is based off our Black American inventions, from the toilet to the street light to the GPS to all these things we created, the 50,000 plus inventions. I get it, right? But you gotta really start understanding, you're really mad at people that have glee in their eyes when they talk about YT people. You mad at people that have glee and so much happiness in their eyes when they talk about YT people. Like that's their God. We gotta understand this. They think about them 24/7. That's why they always bring them up. We can have conversations about ourselves. They be like, but the white men don't like you. But you talk like the white man. Stop being like the white man. And they always bring them up. And you wondering, like, why y'all always be bringing them up all the time when we having a conversation about us? What's going on, family? You all right? And then you watch videos like that and you like, oh, you guys still colonizing the mind. You guys still mentally slaved in the mind. So it got to come a point in time, family. We got to stop giving them energy. They behind, they backwards, family. This is why the country's in shambles. This is why they fleeing. This is why they will never be liberated on the continent, because they still mentally enslaved. They're still mentally colonized. They still mentally see the white as God. They see them so high up there, and that's the standard, that they don't have love for themselves and see themselves in that standard or high up. So therefore, this is why they'll never be as great or be great in their countries. And their countries will always be in shambles, unfortunately. Stop getting mad over people like that, man. Look, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all over there getting mad with somebody that look at the YT as God. What's wrong with you? We don't give them energy. We don't even think about them. You know, unless they do something crazy or racist, then we're gonna be on their heels. Other than that, they don't be in our everyday conversations. Stop being mad. What's wrong with y'all? Love y'all. Chapichi Lachiki.
Hey, tell me what you think in the comments.
Bucking like a pinnacle bull. Bucking, wow, bucking, a good night. Like money is full. Look at that horse, look at that horse, look at that horse. See as hell off that to grab, down on horse. Bucking,
Nigga, Negro, nigger,
and the Confederate flag is ours, y'all gonna crash out. They have played us in our face for so long that it's not even, like, you can't even fathom how deep this shit go. The Confederate flag was ours. They came over here, switched it, and cosplayed so that way we wouldn't remember that we were warriors. They're afraid of us remembering, which is why they had to take over the nigger word too, because they didn't want you to remember who you are. They didn't want you to remember that this is our shit, this is our land, our language, our words, our last name, our companies that they've came over and taken over by saying that you were a slave. The whole slave narrative benefited them because it allowed them to come over and say that they founded our businesses. You were sitting at your desk and somebody came in and said they founded it. Just like, so basically just think about somebody going into the grocery store and saying they founded the groceries. It's no different. The slavery narrative helped push that. The Confederate narrative helped push that. When they said that slavery was over, we were still fighting. We were still fighting. And then they lied and said that they were the Confederate. So it'll look like, yeah.
I've been seeing you little pussy ass tweets.
Oh. So, pop your shit.
I've been seeing this shit, and I just want to let y'all know I really don't give a fuck. I'm not reneging. I'm not going back on what I said. What I said was what the f meant. And what I showed y'all and what I depicted in my imagery was what I felt. And if you feel some type of way, fuck yeah. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it was.
Mona Leo is sitting there talking about Black American culture, but she's not talking about the three things that define this Renaissance reparations generation. She ain't talking about delineation. She's against it. She's not talking about reparations. She's talking about Kamala. She's not talking about gatekeeping and regulating. So basically, y'all, she done came to the barbecue and don't know the family's last name. How you come to the cookout, but you don't know who the name of the family is? She done came to the barbecue talking all this blackity black American talk, but all I hear is scam Africanism, and all I hear is all lives matter. She done came to our barbecue, to our cookout in our hometown, and she don't even know grandma's name. How the hell don't you know grandma's name? Unless you ain't a part of the lineage, or unless you are sent by them people. How about that? Somebody who watched and observed the foundational Black American grassroots, studied it, catered a video to Black American Renaissance and lineage pride, but in reality was pushing Democrat and Pan-African agenda the whole time. Them flags in the background were a flag for a reason. And I'm not talking about the diaspora flag, I'm talking about the red flag. So everybody who's seen a red flag, you have been confirmed based on the fact that she don't like you questioning her. And last time I checked, anybody who doesn't like being questioned about their agenda, about their behavior, or about their demonstrations, they probably working for the other team. That shows you, family, she ain't really on certified time. She wasn't really pushing the lineage. She was pushing Pan-African so they could push the lineage out of the way. The very fact that there's a lineage-based Renaissance, it's rooted out of delineation. So don't tell me you missed delineation. It's rooted out of reparations. Don't tell me you missed out on reparations. So what you're really doing is you studying the Black grassroots, you getting that little bag, you're giving it to Conscious Fleetwood, and then you're turning around and you're trying to pivot.
Egyptians are black from North Africa. Israelites and Egyptians were mistaken. The black Native Americans are Olmecs. The Olmecs are Egyptians that traveled to the Gulf of Mexico.
People started making communities where they could accumulate wealth. Organizations like the KKK and white supremacists decided that didn't get to exist. Places like Black Wall Street, Rosewood, multiple others were burned to the ground and everyone was killed. Anyone that survived, all of their information was burned inside their houses. When black people went to the banks to retrieve their money, to rebuild everything, the bank said, no, all of their bank cards have been burned. They couldn't get their money back. All of those banks still exist and still have all their money, and it's all accumulated wealth. White people from that particular time in that area were able to get their money back. This is why reparations are necessary to atone for our actions. We literally created poverty on purpose.
you're a person of color. You're no longer a Nipmuc person. And that shows through in these county histories and also in the census records at the time. You find a person described in the 1860 census as an Indian. In the 1870 census, they're described as a person of color or a colored person. Same person, but the census taker, as part of the white dominant society, decides that this person is no longer Nipmuc.
All right. Thank you for making it this far if you're still here. And if you are, I salute you and I appreciate the love. So, my whole reason for putting that compilation together was a few things. And one, with everything going on, and trust me, I get it, because we all get caught up in the moment and how our emotions make us feel and how certain things trigger us. And that's why in society, they actually do certain things or allow certain events to play out so that they can steer the majority of society in the direction that they want us to go. And that's why, if you notice, you keep hearing certain trigger words and phrases from each group every time something goes down, ever since we've been going through this whole new process of enforcing the actual laws on the books when it comes to immigration, as well as the current conversations with delineation. And, you know, like I said, I've been walking this rock now almost for 49 years. And I always heard the me no black, me no black. But again, this is not really about that. What this is really about is that know when to spot when individuals are projecting. Because when you are one of the founding members of a nation that has been keeping federal records definitely since 1776, and then someone hailing from a country that just became internationally recognized in the 70s really has no leg to stand on when they tell you you don't know who you are. When you actually understand that a lot of these fabrics that they wear with certain prints that they tell you are representations of their ancestral lineage and their tribe, they didn't actually start wearing those prints until the 50s, when Dutch entrepreneurs who got those same fabrics from Southeast Asia and took them back to their homeland couldn't sell them to the women there. So what they do, put them back on the boat, send them to Africa, created a story. It's just like when you see the what they call them, the cholitas, you know, those women that wear them bowler hats. Go look up the story and see why it is that those Peruvian women actually wear those hats. It was a business deal that almost went bad, and they found a way to get their money back. It's the same thing with those prints that are all about our ethnic or tribal identity, right? But anyways, if you listen to what the Supreme Court has been telling you, what Donald Trump himself has said, that if they got rid of birthright citizenship, they were going to go back 2 generations. And if they did that, anyone who did not have ancestral ties to this land up to 2 generations could lose birthright citizenship and be sent back to their country of genealogical or ethnic origin. The one thing that was said when that was said by Donald Trump himself was the only group who cannot be deported are Black Americans that are the descendants of chattel slavery. So when you start hearing the mumbles and grumbles and you wonder why all the tribes are starting to let the freedmen back in, it's because they know the contract is up. And they know if there's ever been a time the meek will inherit the earth, and now they need us. Read the room and pay attention. So if you belong to the only group who can't be deported, what did this man just tell the whole world who you actually are? And for some reason, people are upset about that. And I don't get it. I mean, I understand not liking the man because things that have been said or however it's been chopped up and fed to you and spoon-fed and indoctrinated and beat you over the head with it. until you believe it. But just go through the tell of the tape. Take your time to go research everything that I'm saying to you. And then as you do it, understand what it means to be a citizen under color of law, whether it's naturalized or birthright citizen. And then know and understand that everyone that comes to these shores and becomes a citizen, or anyone that comes through the office of immigration and naturalization on paper under color of law, is what is known as a white citizen. And then a lot of things will start making sense. And then ask yourself, well, if these individuals are actually white citizens, which I've shown you documentation before, and you can always just go simple Google search, then ask yourself, why are they getting the same treatment and legislation of immigrant minorities when they also still get to enjoy quote unquote white privilege? And why are they now creating legislation that benefits solely them? And now they're invoking the 14th Amendment as a reason of why they can't be deported when that was your birthright as the actual indigenous. And while you're looking at these things, look up the difference between native and indigenous. And then ask yourself, just like there's a Black History Month, why there's a Native American week, but then there's an Indigenous Day. And then see who's actually covered under the Indigenous Day. And then once you understand that there's a difference between indigenous and native, and then you understand why under the 14th Amendment, we are the only ones that are guaranteed birthright citizenship and cannot be removed, because Brother Martin Luther King did say that the Negro remains in exile in his own land. I mean, Malcolm X did say we didn't land on Plymouth Rock because the rock landed on us. And in the words of the brothers from Coast Contra, America came to us. We ain't come from Zamunda. So if you got anything out of this, genealogy, start going through the official record, because it's all public knowledge and public information, and go through the birth and death records and start tracing your family genealogy as far back as you can go. And then after that, you start cross-referencing with the census, and you'll pretty much figure it out from there as you go on. But yeah, don't let anybody project anything on you because they don't know who they are. Because they're mad, because even though some of us aren't paying attention, there's enough of us paying attention where we're starting to produce a change in our reality. This is why old Sleepy Papa Joe and Mama Kamala left the border open for 4 years so that her kids could come through, because Black America, or should I say the misnomered Black America, aka ADOS or the Solon, are all starting to wake up and understand, just like Malcolm X told us, there are white people that want to help you, but they'll never go under that label of a liberal. And for some reason, ever since the civil rights era begun, we have still always been aligned with Democrats. But now, that time is coming where we're about to destroy and rebuild something new. So now they're throwing everything and anything they can at you, even if it is our brothers or the people that we used to refer to as our brothers and sisters throughout the diaspora, who now seem to have all the smoke and all the hate for us. So you know what? They can have it. But when everything is said and done, we're going to see who gets it. And on that note, I'm going to slide out. And remember, man, it's a dirty game out here. And as long as you learn the rules and read the room, follow that intuition, don't let nobody ever dictate how you think and how you see your reality. And when you know what you know, you stand on your square, and ain't no two ways about it. So yeah, as I always say, realize. Transparency forces accountability. Y'all keep your eyes to the stars and keep that head on the swivel. And I'm gonna get out of here. And remember, they playing the dirty game. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you to Nappy Wan Kenobi for that wonderful breakdown. Well, if there's anything I can say before we go for today's broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's very, very important to steer clear of projection. Know and understand who you are. understand that you belong to a nation that has been keeping records for well over 300 years. So when they say that you don't know who you are, that genealogy check is just a right click away, ladies and gentlemen. So if there's anything else that you should definitely learn from this is understand when they say what a tether is and why they tether, because Somaliland's #1 girl, Ilhan Omar herself, is now invoking the 14th Amendment that even the Supreme Court said was created solely for you, Black America, or should I say misnomered Black America, aka Foundational Black America, the Solon, and ADOS, the true indigenous. So again, let that DNA activate and remember who you are and what your purpose is, and learn to walk in your glory. And never, ever again, let that light stop from shining. And with that, I'll be signing out. And it is your man about town, Foundational Black America's one and only, Petty Murphy, reporting to you live from the back of the classroom here with One Akata Nation News Hour here at Akata News Network. We're signing out, ladies and gentlemen. Stay black and stay proud.